Hello, I'm Jak Cornthwaite, a JST Compete coach. I'm going to be doing an analysis of 6 JST athletes' performances while they are going head to head. Today we have Bertie Miller, Johan Wieslander, Reggie Fasa, Evander Harewood, Sophia Frey and Beth Layton. Let's get into it. So I think the first thing to say is that Bertie and Johan started in the wrong place. You're supposed to start at the end of your bar facing the tape. So caveat to that before anyone comments it. If we look at Reggie and Evander first, you can see they've gone out pretty hot. When we were putting the heats together for this, I wanted to test them both because I know the people who, if someone goes out hot, they go with the other person. So I wanted to see, would that happen today? If they did do that, like, how did it play out? Or did one of them have the restraints kind of hold back and just go for their own pace? I know after speaking to Reggie after this workout, he said he was trying to keep up with Evander off the bat. So yeah, they just both started out pretty hot. So let's see how it plays out. Going down bottom right, we've got Beth and Sophia. These two train together on a regular basis at the High Performance Centre in Wigan. They know how each other pace workouts a lot. You can see they're pretty close at the start of this workout. They're in sync for a lot of it. Let's see again how it progresses as we go through the workout. I think Sophia's pace on the deadlift is a little quicker, but Beth's a touch faster on the burpees. Going top left with Bertie Miller. Bertie's got a really good kind of rhythm with these burpees. He's really good at bouncing straight off the floor. As soon as his chest hits the floor, he kind of bounces straight back up. He's got a really smooth step up, which I really like, which is very good for kind of keeping the rhythm. It takes a second and a breath before he picks up for the deadlifts. And again, he's moving pretty well there, which is great to see. Bottom left, we've got Johan. He's taking a little bit longer before he picks up his deadlifts. He's kind of make sure that he's ready to do them. You can see he's breaking the reps up early from the start. It'll be interesting to see how Johan goes in the back half of this workout. Has he paced it a little bit too much? Will this just be just right? Will he push in the back half of the workout to gain some ground? Everyone's going for the step technique, which is definitely paid to do from the start. Again, just so you can stay under control of your heart rate that little bit easier, a little bit more. You can see top right now, Reggie's starting to pull away from Evander a little bit. I think Reggie's urgency on the transitions to kind of pick up the bar that little bit quicker was a little bit of the difference. And I think his pace as well on the burpees was just stayed the same all the way through the sets. You can see Evander's starting to slow down a little bit where he kind of worms down that little bit now, and you can see he kind of turns his head to the side and he's probably a little bit too close to the bar when he's doing his bar facing burpees, because you're only able to just drop straight down like Reggie does there. Looking at Sophia, bottom left. Again, she's kind of in a rhythm where a burpee pace isn't really changing. It's kind of the same as it was at the start. Which again is good to see. Again, Beth kind of just starting to worm down on the burpees that little bit now, which again just slows that pace on the burpees. If we can get comfortable with just bouncing off the ground for as long as possible, again like Bertie in the top left, you're just much more likely to keep a better pace, at the same pace throughout this entire workout. See, Evander just took that little bit extra split second before he picked up the bar. Again, for those top level guys, that's where those extra seconds are picked up. And again, Bertie top left, just kind of taking that little bit longer now before he picks up the bar. He maintains good position, Bertie, in his deadlifts. There's no rounding at the back. He kind of keeps his head up that little bit more. You can see it's more hamstring and glute. Reggie there just kind of going more for the rounded back style. I was having this discussion with Taylor yesterday, actually. So obviously you see some people round the back when they do deadlifts, and it tends to be people with longer torsos and short legs. So another primary example of that is Steve. And my theory on that is that by rounding the back, it allows those people with the longer torsos to actually keep that bar look like closer to them. Whereas if they kept the back straight, they'd have to use their lats a lot more to keep the bar close. And obviously we don't want to be thinking about keeping the bar close with your lats, so just by rounding that back, it kind of helps them to keep it closer. That's my theory anyway. So you can see Reggie, again, still keeping a good pace. Evander slowed right down in his burpees here. And I was judging him, and he did really struggle from the 8 onwards. Reggie really kind of started to pull away from him on the way back down. Johan bottom left. You can see he's struggling here, so probably pacing it from the start was a good shout. Hopefully this last 2 to 3 minutes he can push it a little bit more. He's breaking up the deadlifts. I feel like he's taking that little bit less rest in between his sets. The thing about breaking up the deadlifts too much is you've obviously got to start from a dead stop more. Which for some people that can be really hard to do. If you can use that stretch reflex, it's going to make the reps easier, but obviously if you're under time for a bit more tension, so your heart rate might get up a bit more if this is a heavier weight for you on the deadlift. Reggie finishes, he's close to finishing this now. He's got less than a minute to go. Always, most of the time, he always has something in the tank left to push, and you can see he does here as well, which is awesome. Bottom right, you see Beth struggling on these burpees now. But she's keeping that urgency to get back on the bar, which is super important these last couple of rounds. Like, you know you can dig it for the last 2-3 minutes. Just keep moving. Just keep moving. Imagine, if you were to do a 10-minute assault bike test, it's what those last 2 to 3 minutes are going to feel like. You know you can keep going. Back yourself. Reggie's finished there. Again, it was Evander's pace on the burpees that slowed down a lot. And you could see on the deadlifts as well, when I was judging him, he just took a little bit longer at the top of each rep as well. So hard to know, but I'd probably say he went out just a tad too hot at the start. You can see as well, like on his deadlift, then he had to do a little bit of a double movement, did Evander, where he got it kind of almost all the way up, and he had to lean back that little bit more to make sure he was locking out. A lot of resting now from Bertie here. When you get to this stage of the workout, it's important to kind of remind yourself that those times before when you've dug deep, like I said with the assault bike test, with like a 5K or a 2K row, it's like you can dig this now. Like just get to work, just keep moving, don't think about it. Just get to business. Again, Bertie's got a good pace on his burpees still at this point in the workout, which is good. And Johan's keeping a good pace there. Go on, Johan, just get your hands on that bar. Like taking those extra couple of seconds at this point of the workout, it's probably not going to make any difference. So you might as well just pick it up. We're nearly at the 10-minute cap now. Bottom right, Sophia's emptying the tank here, so's Beth, keeping hold of the bar for her last couple of sets. Bertie's just emptying the tank as well. Johan's called it a day early and so did Bertie there as well. So to wrap up 22.2, your burpee pace should stay the same all the way through. Make sure you know your deadlift capacity to maximise the time you are working for, whether it's you do go for singles, small sets, short rest. So make sure you know that and have something in the tank to push for the last half of the workout. The pace that you're working at may not speed up, but the effort that you are working to maintain should be going up as you go through the workout. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you found the analysis of these athletes' performances helpful. Hopefully there's a few things you can pick up on even if you decide not to redo. If you do, God save your spine. If you can like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel and give us a follow on Instagram, we would greatly appreciate it. See you for 20.